don't know how I'm supposed to start this video because I have no idea what I'm doing. If it was possible, I would probably put off making videos for the rest of my life. I don't know about anyone else who makes YouTube videos, kind of on and off, but for me it's really, really difficult to stay constant, to not hate everything that I put online, to not be embarrassed by everything I put online. I frequently try to like think of, oh, I'll start again maybe next week or next month or when a new semester starts or when a new year starts, and I never end up doing any of that because I put it off. I think it all draws back to the fact that I don't believe that anyone cares about what I'm doing or what I think about things. And obviously creating from a motivation of entertaining others and providing others with information, when you don't believe in your own skills, then obviously you can't really make anything. Because it's not like I don't have the time. Like, I have at least 2 days off every week from uni. I could be doing all of this cool stuff if I wanted to, but I don't know how to. I have no ideas. I don't know what to make. So I end up with this like really, really frustrating just thought in my head saying, oh, I should make YouTube videos, or oh, I should continue making YouTube videos. But as soon as I think about making YouTube videos, I clam up. I envision the process of making the video, editing the video, uploading it, not liking what it is, no one watching it a few years ahead, being embarrassed of it. Like, that whole thing goes through my head in like a few seconds, and then I just decide not to do it because what's the use? Which I understand is a very problematic way of thinking things when you are a creator. I know calling myself a creator sounds very sort of pretentious and problematic, but I'm saying that just as someone who creates things. I like writing, I write a lot, and so in that terms, I do think of myself as a creator. I wouldn't call myself a YouTube creator, despite having like maybe a bit over 50 videos on my channel. It's all been very erratic. It's been erratic at best, really. I have no idea what kind of content I want to produce, so I go from sort of like cool my day type things to then just like, oh, look at me talking about books. Like, I've tried to brand myself with that intro, trying to make sure that I have some consistency throughout what I make, but I'm not that kind of person. There's no consistency in what I want to make. Like, I can barely stay consistent in the style of clothing I want to wear, let alone creating something that I'll consistently be into. Like, I can't do that. I think the purpose of this video is just to get those thoughts out there, just to sort of something to kickstart just making anything again, because again, it doesn't really matter who watches it, even though it feels like it does, because when I look back on my channel, I watch some of the stuff thinking I'm really glad I made this video 4 years ago, because it shows me not who I was back then, but like a snapshot into who I tried to be then, or who I was wanting to be then. And to me, that's really helpful, and it sort of shows me how far I've come. So in that way, I guess I gotta keep posting stuff. I don't know, I'm like, the ultimate sort of fear in my head is people I know finding something I've made, laughing at it, but then again, like, that's bound to happen. So when I get over the fear of people laughing at me making videos about myself, then maybe I'll actually get somewhere. I do actually have stuff I want to talk about, but I don't really think it's that important to divide stuff up into separate videos, because if you're gonna watch a video with me in it, then you might as well watch this one. So we went to see Moonlight a few days ago. I don't know what I was expecting. I knew that it had won Best Picture at the Oscars, so I was expecting something that was worthy of that title, but all of the descriptions I had heard of didn't really match what I saw. I was expecting to sort of cry my eyes out, and then it was going to be a really like emotional experience, but really it wasn't sad in the way that you're expecting sad movies to be sad, to like evoke that sort of melodrama and that sense of sort of familiar tropes and the familiar music coming in and everything that movies do to try to get an emotional reaction from you. The way Moonlight did that was really, really subtle. I think, well, the camera work in general was very sort of natural. There was a bit where the camera seemed like it was attached to the door of a car, and then as a character comes into the car door opens and the camera moves naturally with that, and then when the door closes, the camera moves naturally again with the closing of the door. So it seems almost as if it was attached to the door. Similarly, in the first scene, the camera sort of just circles and circles, almost like a drain, just circling around these two main characters almost dizzyingly, and I'm still not sure what they meant to do with that type of camera work, but it did seem very natural. Instead of cutting, there was a lot of just moving the camera from one character to the other, and even as someone who appreciates kind of symmetry in filmmaking, I did really appreciate the naturalness of that. And in a similar way, the colors were all they were nice, and there were a lot of moments where there was a lot of beautiful colors in the scenes, but they seemed almost like an afterthought. So it felt very non-constructed in that way. Like, if you can say, obviously it's a film, everything's constructed, but it felt natural. There are a few scenes where the characters were crying, and I felt like maybe I should be crying as well, but then again, they didn't really build up to those scenes with like a lot of power, and like I said, those specific cues and cuts and music and stuff like that. And so I just kind of left the theater feeling a bit slow and numb, and I don't know, just kind of melancholy, but also a little bit sad. Not enough to make me cry, but just sort of make me think. And that lasted for at least an hour. I felt very sort of not in my own world. I felt very sort of in the world of Moonlight. I was paying attention to tiny things like pressing the button to cross the road, or the way the light was reflecting off a window, and a lot of it was just sort of, I felt slowed down, and I like that. I like that it didn't sort of do the things that I was expecting it to do. It sort of made me think about things, and it made me want to create. The way that I felt like a hunger to capture, for example, Edinburgh at nighttime, because of the way that Moonlight was filmed and constructed, stuff like that, it motivated me. Even the way that it wasn't a specific story from beginning to end, but the way that we just saw 3 snapshots of time into one person's life, and the movie was kind of trying to be neutral. There was no real pro or anti anything. It was just sort of showing us things as things are in this sort of fictional but also could be very real universe. In that way, I think it can actually touch a lot of people, because we can all relate to kind of not knowing our place, or knowing our place but knowing we can't do anything about it, and in that way we can relate to the main character. But yeah, that's my review of Moonlight, I guess. I mean, I really do understand why it won Best Picture, but at the same time, I still don't know kind of how much I liked it. I know it made me feel things. Thank you for watching. I don't know how to seem genuine or not seem genuine. Like, I just talk to my camera, so please leave feedback if there's anything like framing or anything that you're like, oh, this is shit, like you could learn from this. Please leave, like, message me or something. And I do know that I look like an egghead from like straightforward with this fringe, but bear with me, it will grow and it'll get better. So thank you.